It's a wonderful crowd tonight, so welcome to the graduation ceremonies of West Kentucky Community and Technical College. Please stand. Yep. Please stand as James Bennett leads us in our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your mortarboards. Ladies may do so if you wish.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Welcome again to this very special occasion for our students, faculty, family, and friends. I would like to recognize those honored guests who are present this evening. As I introduce our platform guests, kindly hold your applause until all have been introduced. The West Kentucky Community and Technical College Board of Directors, Mr. Bruce Brockenborough, Chair. Mrs. Sherry Golson, Faculty Representative. Our speaker, Professor William Wade. Other platform guests, Dr. Tina Payne, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Belinda Dalton Russell, Vice President of Student Affairs. Dr. Steve Freeman, Vice President of Institutional Development. Carrie Peck, our student speaker. Matthew Peterson, our student speaker. Special guests in the audience, the Paducah Junior College Foundation Board of Directors, Mr. B.A. Hamilton, Mr. Ken Wheeler, Ms. Lorraine Schramke, Dr. William Wheeler, our West Kentucky Community and Technical College Board of Directors, Mrs. Deborah Edmonds, Mr. Lee Jones, Mr. Larry Kelly, and Mr. Tom Butler, our staff representative. Thank you very much. This past year has once again been a remarkable year of success, and we thank you for your many contributions to make our goals a reality. We are honored this evening to have Carrie Peck and Matthew Peterson as our student speakers. And we are also very honored to have our keynote address by Professor William Wade, who better to inspire us than our own.
I would like to introduce West Kentucky Community and Technical College graduate and speaker, Carrie Peck. Carrie came to West Kentucky Community and Technical College after changing careers and realizing she wanted to pursue a profession that would provide support to others. She has maintained a 4.0 GPA and was named to Who's Who among students in the American junior colleges. She is receiving an Associate of Applied Science and Nursing and is a member of the Kentucky Association of Nursing Students and Phi Theta Kappa. She is also a distinguished member of the 2011 All KCTCS academic team. Carrie Peck.
Thank you, Dr. Russell, for the kind introduction. Good evening. I speak to you tonight with honor, humility, and deep gratitude. Most of the time when we hear or read a story, we have to wait until the end to determine the message. Well, I thought I would save us some time tonight and just tell you the moral of my story, which is to follow your dreams, whatever they may be and whenever you may discover them. It doesn't matter how young or old you may be. If you have a dream, go after it. Yes, it takes planning, time, energy, and resources, but in the end, it will be worth it. I'm living proof of that. Henry David Thoreau said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined." The life we imagine for ourselves today may be different this time next year or even 5 years from now, and there is nothing wrong with that. To fellow graduates and to those in the audience, follow your heart, follow your dreams, and live a happy, meaningful life. 3 short years ago, I left a 13-year career in a very comfortable job. I felt a tug at my heart to engage in work that truly made a difference in the lives of others. I coined leaving my career as my step off the cliff and see where I land moment. My family seemed to disagree and called it my "are you crazy" moment. After 8 short months of self-discovery, I landed at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. During those 8 months, I helped care for an aging grandparent in a local nursing home. As I looked around to those who were caring for her, I realized something. I opened my mind, I opened my heart, and knew this is where I belonged. This is what I was meant to do, providing care for the sick. I quickly made phone calls and appointments and enrolled in classes at WKCTC with the long-term goal of becoming a registered nurse. Although the journey was full of challenges, it was also full of rewards. There were many nights of studying for exams, preparing for clinical days, and performing skills under the watchful eyes of my instructors. There were also moments of relieving a patient's pain, helping a patient to eat lunch, or simply listening to stories about their life. These experiences alone have made me a better, stronger person. With the strong foundation I have built at WKCTC, I feel prepared and confident to serve others in my field. I look forward to a long career in nursing and hope to promote, restore, or sustain health in all those I encounter. You may have heard of the book by Robert Fulghum entitled "All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten." In this book, he tells of life's simple rules and lessons that are learned in kindergarten. A few of these include play fair, clean up your own mess, and say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. In closing, I'd like to share a few of my own life's lessons, but change it to all I really need to know I learned in nursing school at WKCTC. I believe these simple lessons can apply to each of us here tonight, regardless of our chosen careers. First and foremost, always, 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 always wash your hands. Breaking a link in the chain of infection is paramount for you and for others. Trust your intuition. Go with your gut feeling. It's usually right. I know we can all remember a time we changed an answer on an exam, only to find out that we were right the first time. Be an advocate for those who need it. Many people around us do not have a voice. They need us to help protect them and look out for their best interests. Collaborate with others and work as a team. The results produced by an effective team working toward a common goal far outweigh those results of those working alone.
being silent, being quiet, not saying anything at all, well, it really is okay. Well, except for now. This could get awkward. Again, wash your hands, especially before you eat. Give back to others. Those less fortunate populations in our own neighborhoods need our help. Be caring, compassionate, and trustworthy. Build genuine relationships and cultivate them. Laugh at yourself. Sometimes laughter is truly the best medicine. Learn from your mistakes, but also remember to celebrate your victories. Wash your hands again. Be organized. Think ahead, plan, and always be ready. When you think you can't give anything more, well, you can and you will live through it. In the words of Jim Valvano, don't give up. Don't ever give up. And last but not least, always teach your patient how to cough and deep breathe. Prevention of complications is a must. Well, I do have one more. Again, wash your hands. And if you notice any extra wide smiles from faculty members, it's most likely an instructor in the healthcare field. Fellow graduates, congratulations on pursuing your dreams. Although today is the end of a journey, it is also the beginning of a new one. Good luck to each of you, and may you always continue to follow your heart.
I would like to introduce Matthew Peterson. Matthew is a graduate with a 4.0 GPA, receiving his Associate of Science degree and studying mechanical engineering at the University of Kentucky College of Engineering at the West Kentucky Community and Technical College campus. He is a treasurer of the Student Government Association, a member of Phi Theta Kappa, a student worker in the college's Advising Center, and was selected as Student of the Month for November of 2010. He is also a distinguished member of the 2011 All KCTCS academic team. Matthew Peterson.
Thank you, Dr. Russell, for the wonderful introduction. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the West Kentucky Community and Technical College's faculty and staff for all of their support and positive attitudes. The environment created in each classroom I have attended strongly encourages active learning, and the optimistic mindset exhibited by each staff member speaks volumes for the WKCTC institution as a whole. My story leading to WKCTC doesn't begin like most would anticipate. I was a 20-year-old high school dropout. I was working at a fast food restaurant for minimum wage, and I was struggling to make ends meet week to week. However, since I was young, I had always envisioned myself attending college. I decided I wasn't content just coasting by making ends meet, so after a year of working at my dead-end job, I realized it was time to put my efforts into something more meaningful, something that would work towards my future. I put in my 2 weeks' notice, and I set a goal for myself to get into college. I started attending an adult education facility that got me prepared to take the test to obtain my GED certificate. Once I acquired my general education credentials, I continued to frequent the adult classes in preparation for my ACT. After a month of studying, I felt prepared to take the entrance exam, and I set up a test date that happened to be held at the WKCTC campus. Upon arrival for the ACT, I got a first-hand experience of the college's grounds, and at the time, I had a few friends attending who only had good things to say about it. I subsequently applied to WKCTC after completing the entrance exam, and after about a month, the test results came in. I was surprised to see my hard work had paid off, and although I was pleased with my success thus far, getting my GED and taking the ACT was just a step on my academic journey. On this point of my journey, I wasn't satisfied simply going to school. I had learned before that when I didn't put an effort into my education, my life had come to an abrupt halt. Instead, I wanted to set new goals for myself, the first being to work as hard at school as I had at my job earlier that year. I treated my first semester like a full-time job, and as a result, I did very well. Each semester following, I took another step towards my ultimate goal of graduating college, and after each step, I would set new, reachable goals for myself with a renewed confidence. But unfortunately, not every semester I entered was a success. And although we are all here now attending our graduation ceremony, I'm sure everyone has had struggles to overcome in order to get here. One of my primary struggles involved getting through a tough semester in which it seemed like the world had begun crashing down around me. We have all had that one semester that seemed to get the best of us, and mine came during the summer of last year. I was signed up for an accelerated math course that met 4 days a week, and needless to say, it took up most of my free time. Within the first week of attending, I had major family issues come up, and one of my good friends got into an awful car accident that left him paralyzed and in a hospital 2 hours away. I quickly realized that between visiting my friend in the hospital and being there for my family, I would not have enough time to devote to my summer course. I consequently had to drop the course, and I was very hard on myself for doing so. It was then I entered a low point during my school career that didn't subside without the support of those close to me. Among those people were several WKCTC staff members, 2 of which I would like to thank personally, Summer Holland and Jerry Anderson. Through their help, along with many others, I was able to come back my next semester, continuing where I had left off. Although many unique individuals helped me through my difficult times, going through difficult times is not a unique situation. All students have had to deal with hardships at some point during their college careers, and it is imperative we don't forget to thank those that helped us along the way. I would like to give a thank you on behalf of all students to everyone that has aided us along the way, be it family and friends or other helpful individuals. We've all accomplished an objective through the support of others, and it is our responsibility to pay it forward and help others in our community. As our time here at WKCTC comes to a conclusion, we must come to the realization that this is only the beginning. Many of us, I am sure, had set graduating college as a major life goal. And although it is an accomplishment worthy of recognition, it is very important that as graduates, we continue to place the bar higher and higher. What we must do next is not to become complacent, but to be persistent in setting new objectives for ourselves as we move forward in life. Achieving our college education is just one of many steps we must take to become the brilliant, fruitful members of society we set out to be.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for those inspiring words, and congratulations on your accomplishments. It's now my pleasure to introduce Professor William Wade as our featured speaker this evening. In August 1970, William Wade walked on the campus of then Paducah Community College for the first time to accept a position as reading instructor. 40 years later, Wade, Dean of Online Learning at what is now West Kentucky Community and Technical College, is still a champion for education, especially online learning. Wade, a native of Fulton County, earned a Master of Science degree in education with an emphasis in reading from the University of Virginia. He taught reading classes at the community college for 10 years, the only reading classes offered in the area at that time. In 1976, Wade developed his first education course, a 2-year program to train teachers' aides. He also opened and coordinated the on-campus daycare center that provided students the opportunity to gain experience with children while also offering daycare services to students. But the area in which Bill will forever leave his mark at the community college is online learning. In 1985, he earned a Master of Art degree and began teaching English full-time. Before graduation, however, Wade got his first introduction to the speed and efficiency of computers. He knew immediately he had to know more about computers. He found an abandoned computer on campus, and he took it back to his office. Over the next several years, while teaching full English course load on campus and at Ballard, Graves, and Marshall County High Schools, Bill taught himself various computer skills and programs. In the fall of 1990, Wade configured the acquired computer in his office with a bulletin board program that allowed students in his English 101 class to access coursework from home with a computer and a modem. The Computer by Modem English course was officially added to the college offerings in July 1991. 12 students registered for that class. Wade built on that success, and the community college offered 2 English classes by modem that fall. Today, the college offers more than 100 online courses with more than 80 faculty members and 10,000 online enrollments. This year, Wade received the West Kentucky Community and Technical College's Faculty Award of Excellence and will be honored next week at the statewide New Horizons Conference in Lexington. Please join me in welcoming Professor William Bill Wade.
Thank you, Mr. Brockenborough, Dr. Veazey, platform guests, students, faculty, friends. To the class of 2011, be proud of where you are at any time in your life. If you are not, no one else will be proud of what you do there. Tonight, we are celebrating one of those times. You started your journey, you picked a road, you found your way, and tonight you have reached one of many destinations. Congratulations to you on a job well done and for exhibiting the determination to keep up the work until you finished the task. This is what a college education is all about. It is selecting a path and keeping it to the end. In 1920, Robert Frost, an American poet, wrote a poem titled "The Road Not Taken." In it, Frost speaks of roads that we take in life. The last 3 lines of the poem are, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." You have come to this night from a variety of paths. You have taken a road less traveled by. Some of you mapped a straight path from high school to college, and you did not waver. It must be great to know what you want to do early in your life. Some started on that path and had to take a different direction, but eventually you found your way back to college. Others are here because the road you selected was blocked by layoffs or dead ends. Regardless of the direction that you have taken and the time you have spent on the road, everyone here tonight who is receiving a degree, diploma, or certificate has taken a path toward their current goal, has succeeded, and has moved into a select group. That group is not only judged to be unique by local standards or even Kentucky standards. It is unique as well by national standards because according to studies published this year, about 30% of the people in Kentucky have a post-high school degree or certification, and 39% nationally have a certificate, associate, or higher degree. What that means is that your accomplishment over the past several years has given you an education that exceeds that of approximately 60 to 70% of those around you. That is obviously the road less traveled by. You have moved into a group that gives you access to higher earnings and more stability in your future. Will you need more education in the future? Perhaps. But what this current experience has provided to you is the confidence to reach new goals. You have the assurance that if you work toward achieving a plan, you can do it. That confidence will serve you well wherever your next road may lead. For many of you, accomplishing this has been no small task. It has taken desire and patience. The desire to reach the goal is one of the major elements of success, but persistence, never giving up, is even more important. I am sure as you think back over your experience, words like difficult and frustrating will come to mind. Those hard classes that were roadblocks to your success and difficult to master caused many nights of worry and lack of sleep. We all have areas where learning is not as easy. It takes longer for some concepts to make sense to us than others. It has always been my belief that a hard life makes a firmer foundation, and these courses build character if you survive them, and obviously you have. But in with words difficult and frustrating were words like fulfilling and fun. Not one of you went through your college experience without finding a course that you enjoyed, that you got something from, or that was better than you expected. Sometimes that revelation came as a result of the efforts of the teacher. Sometimes it came as a result of what you brought to the course. But many times it was a simple realization that your efforts paid off and you got it. It made sense, and what a joy that was. And when your teachers saw you have that moment, it was an equal joy to them. At that moment in your life, a Hollywood musical started. Johnny Nash started singing in your mind. You looked up with a smile on your face as I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way resounded off the walls of your mind. The fun of school was in the realization that I can do this, and with the relationships that you had with fellow students and faculty. I have seen these moments and had these feelings as students came through the college. I have had the realization that I can do this at moments myself. I was what would be called a late starter, a late bloomer. As I look back on my own experience, I probably was not supposed to go to college. I just couldn't think of anything else to do at the moment. My first 5 years of college to get a 4-year degree were difficult, frustrating, fulfilling, and fun. The fun was probably why it took 5 years. But I was persistent in my desire to finish. 40-plus years and 2 master's degrees later, I can say I understand the satisfaction and pleasure you feel tonight. I have been at West Kentucky since 1970 and have known or taught thousands of students in those 40 years. Friends and students have gone through the school and accomplished great things. I know senators, lawyers, doctors, nurses, postal workers, engineers, UPS drivers, businesswomen, businessmen, as well as writers and performers who started their careers at West Kentucky. I meet past students who stop and talk to me about their days at the college and their memories of the excellent faculty and staff that we had and still have. I talk with current students who are just beginning to find which road to choose. The roads that currently take them to their goals may be different than the ones we took just a few years ago. But they are still roads that will lead them where they want to go and give them the strength and stamina to accomplish their life's plan. In 1964, Bob Dylan, another American poet, told us that the times they were a-changing. The changes that we face in 2011 are new, but change is not. All we have to do is recognize it and move on. I believe Dylan tells us that if you can't lend a hand, get out of the way, as the times they are a-changing. Many changes have taken place in education over the past 5 to 7 years, and today's students' needs are different than the students of 10 or more years ago. But this college knows that and is meeting those needs. Many paths are provided for students, and they will select the one less traveled by, and that will make all the difference.
Before we confer the degrees, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our faculty. Would they please stand? I was going to ask you all to join me and thank them, but obviously you all recognize what a great job they do. Every day they face many changes, many students, and they're responsible for many positive changes in our students' lives. At this time, will the candidates please rise? Dr. Veazey, I present the candidates for graduation, and I certify on behalf of the faculty that they have successfully completed all of the requirements for their respective credentials. The first row of graduates may proceed to the stage, and all others may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, as the names of the graduates are read, those graduating with honors are noted in the program. Those wearing gold honor cords are members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. There will be a professional photographer taking pictures as the students receive their credentials. Please refrain from coming to the stage to take photographs. The following student will receive an associate degree in fine arts. And Allison Elizabeth Reynolds is our first student to get the associate in fine arts degree at West Kentucky Community and Technical College, as well as in the state of Kentucky. The associate in arts degree. Robert Strong. Jorge L. Machian. Morgan Cheyenne Byer. Akib Z. Hussein. Alicia Danielle Gilbert. Janita Ann Gilbert. Peggy A. Satinsik. Matthew L. Fletcher. Rebecca Lynn Lambert. Crystal L. Little Kent. Jessica Lynn Mathis. Claudia B. Washburn. Daphne R. Hernandez. Pat N. Lawson. E. Anthony Schaefer. Taylor Harris. Megan Nicole Elliott. Hope C. Allen. Richard H. Blankenship. Crystal Dawn Truitt. Carrie L. Joyce. Morgan B. Alvey. Joel H. Wiggins. Christina N. Hall. Courtney Mann. Courtney Marlene Ellis. Jacqueline Haley Wells. Samuel E. Evans. Jennifer Lynn Joseph Cloninger. Matthew C. Harper. Deidre Marie Chandler. Tabitha K. Ward. Kendra Lachey Hayes. Edward W. Hall. Dusty Ann Swantick. Amanda Lee Lipscomb. Jeremy C. Sneed. Jeremy is also a student at the Commonwealth Middle College. Catherine H. Young. Catherine is also a student at the Commonwealth Middle College. The following students are receiving an Associate in Science degree. Allie Greer. And Allie is also a student at the Commonwealth Middle College. Jacqueline M. Lyle, and Jackie is also a student at Commonwealth Middle College. Charles Micah Bush. Benjamin Ray Lindsay. Cheryl Lee Pepple. Andy L. Lipford. Justin B. Harper. Kaylee N. Tynes. Mindy Ray Woodford. Ashton Elizabeth Ursini. Tamika Hall. Cambria Mariah Goodman. Colin Richard Glass. Amanda Dawn Embry. Lakin N. Gerard. Michael Gilbert. Matthew R. Roberts. Devin M. Harris. Joseph Kyle Blagg. Megan L. Ricks. Penny R. Bivens. Jeffrey A. Vogren. Jennifer M. Rather. Jason C. Clark. Christian L. Musselman. Timothy Allen O'Malley. Matthew Harold Peterson. The following graduates will be receiving an Associate in Applied Science. David W. Downing. Brandon K. Berge. Donald Allen Block. Jed McGregor. Claudia O'Neill. Shelley Renee Schuster. Stacy L. Brasher. Deirdre Ann Edmonds. Katie Flowers. Sandra R. Kelly. Kelsey Nicole Duncan. Danita Fisher. Danielle V. Langford. Janetta Arnold. Bethany P. Kane. Syria E. Casey. Christopher T. McMurtry. Valerie Renee Guthrie. Nathan Aaron Freeman. David W. George. Julia E. O'Neill. Kristen D. Johnson. Juana Montoya. Monica Whitus. Pamela Sue Rudolph. Suzanne Underhill. Amber C. Ward. Jesse L. Kavanaugh. Brittany Shea Dixon. Ashley R. Herndon. Jonathan Jackson. Emily Rose Crisp. Whitney L. Lyles. Paige Brooks Johnson. Kristen S. Barnhill. Marcella Wampler. Kanda S. Barnes. Jonathan R. Fralix. Brian G. Sullivan II. Billy J. Terrell. Miranda Beth Turner. Jacob K. Vineyard. Tanya E. Sandoval. Jill Denise Allen. Judy Lee Higgins. Sarah C. Hamilton. Stephanie Renee Hibbard. Candace Dawn Kendall. Melody Dawn Phillips. Alicia Marie Webb. Michelle L. Whiteman. LaDonna R. Carmack. Dolores A. Wyatt. Justin Michael DeNovo. Lynn M. Plumley. Christine A. Huckabee. Sarah Catherine Schmidt. Malia G. Morrison. Carrie L. Peck. Amber N. Solomon. Alicia F. Norton. Cindy Renee Burgess. Jeremy Lloyd Childers. Amanda Ann McMullen. Cassie Nicole Palermo. Valerie D. Harris. Brian E. Neely. Emily Perales. Carl M. Clark. Kimberly D. Cash. Larry E. Wallace. Russell James Sweatman. Leonard Dwayne Gwynn. Gaina Wynn Feltz. Tia K. Dunbar. Ashley Nicole Horn. Shauna Michelle Hirsch. Stephanie Marie Stevenson. Jessica R. Moss. Courtney B. Elder. Jessica Renee Reeder. Savara Lane Tolbert. Amanda K. Barnes. Trishalana M. Jacobson. Jesse R. McCord. Vanessa L. Hack. Heather M. Carrico. Lindsay Shea Underwood. Kamal Patel. Mina Atkinson. Lisa Michelle Hall. Rebecca G. Holland. Caleb J. Clark. Justin Dwayne Mathis. Jacob Tanner Flynn. Scott A. Holt. Thomas F. Carrico. Lisa K. Mielis. Teresa Ann Perkins. Hannah E. Tucker. Teddy L. Bass III. Amanda Marie Tyler. Kara M. Brown. Jessica Ann Morris. Samantha Leanne Connor. Cynthia R. Ellis. Samantha R. LaHoo. Leslie D. Forbes. Christy Joy Bingham. Whitney M. Ray. Jessica L. Eaves. Teresa Jo Hankins. Latvia Nicole Starks. Thelma L. Reed. Shannon Shea Hill. Tina Ray Lindsay. Martina R. Abdu. Rachel Ann Allen. Bethany Carol Mason. Roxanne Futrell. Charles Robert Ballard. Kimberly D. Harry. James Cassidy Underwood. Christina Marie Downing. Sally C. Vincent. Christina Finlay. Christy L. Young. Victoria K. Phelps. Misty Michelle Coles. Wesley George Craper. The following graduates will be receiving diplomas. Howard Ellen Hill. Joshua C. Thompson. Sabrina K. Orr. Jacqueline L. Glover. Bridget C. Radford. Marzelle Littleton. Elizabeth A. McManus. Paula Ann Moore. Astrid Gamble. Michelle R. Marks. Teresa L. Arnett. Tiffany F. Hulsey. Jamie L. Moorer. Allison N. Dick. Lindsay B. Moreland. Alyssa M. Few. Audrey A. Viewers. Sarah Grace Elizabeth Womack. Caitlin McHale Smith. Maggie E. Gray. Lauren Elizabeth Wood. The following graduates will be receiving certificates. Benjamin John Johnson. Brittany Claire Freeman. Jessica Lynn Rhodes. Taya Marie Jaton. Regina E. Warren. Eileen M. Nevis. Lindsay Jill Clapp. Crystal Marlene Shelton. Valerie Dawn Lanier. Melissa K. Reams. Tanner Coffey. Layden Marie Moeller. Callie Rochelle Duke. Aline Mangiapano Powell. Charles Ronald Fields. Angelique B. Catone. Devin R. Guarantano. Carmen S. Ingram. Scott L. Hendrickson. Constance Chantel Ingram. Barry Mason. Alicia M. Nall. Felicia Nolan. Bethany N. Robinson. Deborah A. Diviak. Brandy N. Wheeler. Teresa B. Reed. Chelsea L. Ellington. Kelsey D. Ellis. Serena L. Oden. Tiffany Springer. Antonia Loomis. Latrina L. Laster. Mildred L. McDonald. Shantavian Jones. Micah Renee Poole. Micah is earning a certificate in advanced nursing assistant and is also a student at Ballard County High School, as is Daphne Jane Bomarito. Cassie Leanne Blankenship. Hannah Renee Bing. Michaela Walters. Chelsea Renee Redfern. Abrina Sonia Perez. Michelle Leah Holmes. Whitney Lee Russell. Lauren Renee DeWeese. Terry Harrison. Sharina Lynn Stevens. Christian Blake Rundles. Brianna Seed Martin. Chelsea Nicole Redden. Shelby Renee Potts. Amy Renee Wiggins. Chelsea Nicole Parker. Kathleen Page Citarella. Will the graduates please rise? Madam President, I present the graduating class of 2011.
Okay. All right. By the virtue of the power vested in me by the Kentucky Community and Technical College System and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I hereby pronounce you graduates of West Kentucky Community and Technical College. You may now move your tassels to the left side. Woohoo! You may be seated, and again, our congratulations. A thank you to Carrie and Matthew for sharing their stories. To me, West Kentucky Community and Technical College represents the faces of America. You each have a story, and many times there is adversity. But you came to our college. You saw it as a place of hope and encouragement, and a place of new ideas and skills, and a place to develop your dream. So we are all very proud of you this evening. Thank you to Professor Bill Wade for your inspiring remarks. I want to thank you for the leadership, commitment, and your philosophy of service to our students. You represent our faculty well. Students, your credential tonight means you have achieved a personal mark of excellence, and it means a mark of achievement too for your family and your friends who are here with you tonight. My congratulations to all of you who have helped our students along the way. We also hope that those graduating tonight and continuing in their professional life will continue to consider the community college's role and share with others your success as we continue to promote education as the only true route of developing and having a future that is good for all of Kentuckians. I congratulate tonight, too, the graduates of our Commonwealth Middle College. The Middle College is the first in Kentucky. High school students take their junior and senior year on the college campus and are enrolled in college courses as well. So it took hard work, of course, ability to walk across this stage tonight. So we're very pleased for this to be our first. Our faculty have also played a large role in the success of our graduates tonight. They not only have knowledge of their teaching skills and their discipline, but they care deeply about the students and their success. Tonight, I would like to ask two retiring faculty members to stand, Darlene Daniels and Kathy Kepner. Professor Daniels started the dental assisting program and admitted the first class in 1980. This is the 31st class to graduate, and over 300 individuals have graduated from our accredited dental program. Professor Daniels also started a collaborative dental hygiene program with other community colleges in 2000. We have seen 11 classes graduate. Thank you for your stellar career, Professor Daniels. Professor Kathy Kepner has taught in the mathematics department for 29 years. Her reputation for quality of instruction is her hallmark. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, and countless others have benefited from Kathy Kepner's instruction, dedication, and mentoring of new faculty. Thank you, Professor Kathy Kepner. We will miss you. Graduates, we wish you great success. We are simply proud of you. We hope that you carry the feelings, the aspirations, and the words of encouragement expressed tonight with you to make the world a better place. So at this time, please stand as James Bennett leads us in the singing of My Old Kentucky Home. Following, please remain standing as the recessional leaves the auditorium, and please then join us for a reception in the lobby to congratulate our graduates. James.
The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the children are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard times comes a knocking at the door, then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, far